Dan here, DD Speed Shop. So in the last video, we got the floor pan kind of set in, and I took a day or two to think about it, and I'm doing a little bit of messing around just kind of on my own because I really want to make sure it fits proper. And I think I got it under control. So I did a little bit of cutting here and there, but actually everything seems to fit pretty good now. Like the car is set down the whole way on it. So that's okay. Now I think what I have to do is the car has to move ahead just maybe 1/2 of an inch, and the floor pan doesn't. So that if you look down here, there's just a bit of a gap kind of right there, a little more than I'd like. And then if you look at the front here, kind of hard to see, but there's a divot where the car should sit kind of right past it, and it's right on top of it. So just a 1/2 inch forward would do great. Same thing with our front bolts here. The bolt is kind of just a little bit behind this little mount. So the whole thing just has to come forward a little bit, and actually the firewall just has to slightly shift over. So I think what we're gonna do, I put the tow truck there. So we have the car is just barely has the weight off it with the gantry and the engine crane. So I thought if we could ratchet strap the car to the tow truck and then just pull it ahead was my plan. But I don't quite know how that's going to work out. At least these are my thoughts.
Honestly, I feel like it'll be great.
Hopefully there's enough. Oh, I need more ratchet strap.
Or just to move the truck closer.
We have 2 ratchet straps. So we'll just do that. That's way less work. Eh?
I like when you surprise me with these fun plans.
If they don't find you handsome, at least find you handy.
I do find you handy and handsome.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, but I have a lot of faith in it.
Do you want me to hold something?
I think I'm okay. Should just keep a little tension on. These aren't exactly the biggest ratchet straps, but I'm hoping this will just kind of go easy. Okay, so now we gotta block the car.
Ah, my favorite 4x4.
4x4.
My favorite 4x4 for car blocking.
So if we do that, oh, is there one for that side too? Hi. Damn friendly neighbors coming to visit. Okay. So we'll see if we can get this to go. It's gonna want to pull the whole car. I want it just so it's just barely off the thing, because it should just kind of slide. But there is a fair bit of friction.
Do you want me to like push against the frame?
Should be okay, because it's just, she's really going. Oh, maybe it went. There we go.
Oh yeah.
I think it's moving, eh?
Yeah, it definitely did move.
Is it pulling the whole car, or is it? It's getting harder. Oh, there we go.
It is.
Okay.
So then, oh, it's almost perfect if you just shimmy the firewall over.
Let's check the back here. Oh, I think that is damn near perfect.
Gap here. That's changed.
And then at the front, this side's right in line with the little bump. Is it there too, pretty much? Like just behind it?
You've got about a finger's width.
Oh yeah, no, but it's behind the bump, which is perfect. Yeah,
oh,
okay. So that's basically exactly what we want. I will say this side's a little tighter than that side, but I don't know how close we're gonna get. Whew. Did it pop back, do you think, or did it still happy? Well, that side's still good.
Well, we're still good over here.
Okay, so I think that we're gonna call that, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Now, so this, the firewall has to scoot driver's side just a little bit, I'm thinking. Like just small, smallest amount. So what can I pry on to get it pushed over? Ooh, that's pretty centered. I think that's as good as it's gonna be, maybe like 1970 wise.
I have to say, it looks pretty, like, this one looks almost dead center to the,
Yeah,
maybe
I think
just like the smallest hair off.
I think at the end of the day though, just kind of the way she is in 1970, nothing was perfect. So if that's the case, everything else looks like it should fit pretty good. We have to give it a couple of swackskis here and there, but I can probably start to weld that together. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think it's gonna mean, hey, I don't think these cars were straight to start with, I'm not gonna lie. Door still kind of looks like it's gonna close. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna throw your eye out because I had to cut the bottom of the quarter off, obviously, to get to the rocker, but you know, that all kind of still fits.
Well, and the door can't close because the support beam is
The door can't close, exactly. So, but if I weld the rockers front and back, you know, if I just kind of tack weld across the back there, and then the floor, if I take some scrap steel and just kind of weld to it, I can probably take some of this structure out and see. I don't know if I should do that or not. Kind of fighting out how far we should take it here, but that's pretty dang close, I'm thinking. Because the back, my original plan was to line up the frame rails in the back stuff. There's nothing there. There's nothing. Nothing. That's all there is to it. But if you look, the frame is kind of centered-ish. Actually, the body might have to go just a little bit that way, which we can kind of bounce over. And I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. The car was so rotted that there's only so much you can do. Make it all kind of fit. Also, the front suspension's all out of whack, like the whole car is twisted, like it needs a rotisserie and all that sort of stuff, but what we have is some miscellaneous 4x4s, an engine crane, and a tow truck, so that's what we're gonna use. Okay, I'm gonna drop this thing down. We'll pull the welder out. We'll see if we can get it kind of spotted into place, and then make sure the doors open and close still. As long as if they open and close, then I can weld it all back together, and really we should be pretty good. So I got this thing self-tapered into place, so it's on that side as well. It's not going nowhere. Along the back, I just measured. So I mean, cars all have little bits and pieces. So there's a little hole in the frame. So one across there, we're like 10 1/4 from the trunk drop down to the hole. And on this side, pretty well same thing, 10 1/4. So it's close enough. We're within a 1/4 inch as far as I'm concerned, or 1/8 of an inch. That can all be kind of adjusted with the body and all that sort of stuff. So I want to put a few welds on this. There's kind of not a whole lot of structure here, but if we can get this dialed together, then we can kind of carry on to the next bit, which I think is going to be the trunk floor. I like to get that all kind of cut out. The back bit here we're going to have to kind of push in. It's going to be a bit of a hassle, but it should be fine. Now this factory would have been, you know, plug welded or whatever, but we're just gonna seam weld it because it's 1,000 times easier. Oh yeah. There's not a whole lot of structure in the front there, I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably have to weld it on the side a fair bit. Pass me that hammer. But this we got. That's pretty good. At least it won't fall out, I hope. Okay, so that's good. Now, what should I do with the floor there? I should just weld it all together or what? So we also have these side braces I want to put in as well. So really we should probably get the floor a little bit more and just tack weld and maybe give it a little bit of El Permanente kind of vibe. So I'll get over, I'll weld that side real quick. Same as here, so nothing's moving. And then we'll carry on and get a little bit more because I do think the body's coming off the frame a few more times. I'd like it a little more and just tack together for some strength. But yeah, it's fitting. So we cut the bracing out, the door closes. A little tight at the bottom of that one, but overall, I mean, you know, I think that's, the handle itself is a little stuck. So I welded just the back section, front section a little bit, and then I ran a couple of pipes to the front, and I did this back little area. So it's not perfect, but not too bad. The doors will need some fitment, but honestly, actually, what time is it? Oh, it's 2 o'clock. All my other stuff came in at Ridge. I meant to go get that walker, so I got doors and fenders, and we maybe should be doing the fitment with the new stuff, so we'll do that next week. The door fits good at the front of the rocker. At the bottom, it sticks out a little bit, so that's kind of whatever. The other side's the exact same way, so I think it just kind of is what it is. They'll need some fine tuning. If we got to do a little pie cut and a little move here and there, so be it. I think the next thing we should probably do is start cutting out the trunk floor and figure out how the heck we're going to get it in here. Because I feel like it's going to be a bit of a job. I feel we'll do the opposite we do on the Tri-5, where it's cut it all out, lift the back end up, slide it in, and pop it in there. So, yeah, but I mean, that floor fits good. This door has a decent gap on it too. I don't know. Fits how it fits. As good as it was before. So we should be able to kind of carry on. And then, yeah, a floor jack here, 2x4 there, and a little bit of welding. Never hurt. Why isn't this one closing too good? There we go. Needs a little bit of love. But yeah, this
Well, that has a really nice gap.
yeah, it's not too bad, eh? It seems to fit decent here. It's also hard to tell. I mean, this is all...
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean by the rocker there.
But, I mean, we'll have to kind of fit that all. I don't want to...
I feel like along its life, it probably got a little wobbly at some point.
Well, yeah. And I don't... we're going to put different doors on it, different quarters on it, which is all going to fit differently anyways. So it's just kind of be what it's going to be. I'm going to take a minute here. We'll clean up some of this junk, throw it all out, and then maybe we'll just cut the trunk floor section out, plasma it out, and see if we can get the other trunk floor in. If we can get that into place and kind of lock down, same thing. I think what I want to do is cut all that out and then bolt it down to the, it's got some obviously body bushings there. I think there's some up there and there's some in the back. We'll see what we can get out because it's going to be a little bit of fitment back here. We get the floor in, then that'll be pretty sweet. Then we can start cutting the quarters and do one side at a time. Quarter panel, wheel tubs, and go from there. It'll actually, once we get the floors in, I think it should start really moving pretty quickly. I mean, I guess it's already moving pretty quickly now, but the floor is an ugly job, and you really want to make sure it's right. You can kind of cheat the quarters and the doors and all that with some fitment here and there, but the floor, if the whole car's crooked, you got problems. But I think it's close enough we can carry on. Close enough for me anyways. So I'll actually start on the inside here. I took out the little whatever package tray back seat thing and drilled all the rivets out, or the spots out. So we got that. Now the trunk floor, it wraps around and goes to there. So let's look at this floor here. We've got to decide how we want to get it to fit. So it's all kind of double layer sandwich and stuff. I think I'm going to cut a fair bit of that out and just have it extra. It'll be one extra piece of steel. I'm not going to cut it all out. That'll be fine. So that piece goes all the way down, around, out to the side, and then this section as well. And then here, we want to keep this bit here. And it's got a bunch of, kind of spot welds. It's not really coming apart easy at all. These side bits here, they're all rotted out. They go down. They're actually, so that one's completely missing almost. That's the trunk drop. So the trunk drop goes down and it actually goes up the side. So that's all good. That's all kind of irrelevant. And honestly, a lot of the quarter panel is irrelevant because we have new quarters. But I do want to kind of come apart in one piece at a time. So my thought is I'll probably cut all this structure out but leave just a little bit of pinch weld so it'll be double thick right here. But if you look at this new pan, it's a little different. It's already double, which is different, and it has this piece that kind of curves up. So it might be we put the trunk floor pan in, it will be up slightly by cheating a little bit, but if we do it in the front, we leave a little bit of metal in the back, we leave a little bit of metal, it'll just be up that 18 gauge or whatever it is, amount of steel. So if we really get crazy, we could shim the body mounts by put a washer in it, but I think it'll probably be fine, I gotta say. And that'll be much easier, lots more strength, because by the time I try and take this all apart, I'm gonna get it bent and beat up and all that. And I may end up replacing this pan as well, because it's kind of a little beat up. So I'm gonna get the plasma cutter out, and we're just gonna kind of get all this junk out of here. The front we'll do a quick cut across. Then we can get in there with the grinder and kind of clean it all up. But I'll probably support it with the engine crane, because once we get all this out, this is sitting on the frame rail. So again, this is actually supposed to be up slightly, obviously to be on the mounts. But if we get that in there, I think if we get all that out, we lift it up high, slide the pan in, bolt the pan in, it'll be where it's going to be, then we can kind of start welding. Now ultimately all we're going to do is weld it to this and to the front, because the wheel tubs and all that all have to come out yet. It's quite a project, I'm not going to lie. And all that structure actually has to come off the wheel tubs as well. Whew. Maybe I should have thought about this more than just buying first, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's the plan. We'll get the plasma set up and we'll start just cutting. Problem solved. Ugh. Woo. Got the piece out. So it was all pretty beat up, but kind of cut it all out. So we'll get inside, we'll cut the rest out. Then, get the light here. But you see, this has a little bit of slag. I'm just going to grind this all flat, and that's where the new floor will fit up against. I'll probably cut out just the tubs, or whatever you call it, the trunk drop downs. I don't know. It's how much you take out, because once the quarters are off, we can get to a lot of stuff as well. I'll cut all that junk out. We'll cut this section of the floor out. We'll go around the wheel tub on both sides, and then just one zip right across the front, and actually the whole floor will come out. So that's actually not terrible. Oh, and then inside we got to do a little trimming, because this all has to come out as well. So I'll probably have to get in there with the zip disc and just kind of make that look all pretty, which is kind of ugly work, I'm not going to lie, but now's the time to kind of do it. And again, this is welded together, so it's not moving anywhere. This is the structure that we're trying to maintain, so if we can line everything up with this and that, we'll be golden. And then we can, pull and bend and pry on wheel tubs, or what we got to do to make those fit. And then the quarters, I have high hopes, but they might fit like doo-doo. And if that's the case, then we're cranking and pulling and pie cutting and whatever we got to do anyway. But we should be able to slip the floor in here shortly-ish. And then once that floor pan's in and everything's bolted down, and again, floor pan in is going to have a bolt there, 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 and there. So we'll secure it in. Then that's all good. We'll weld all that in. Start working on the quarters. I'd like to get everything tacked together. Then honestly, if we can lift this thing off the frame again, push the frame out, then we can weld everything, get under it, into it, wherever we want, and make life easy. For this, we'll probably just end up drilling a bunch of holes right through it, and then just plug welding it in. And all that's hidden by the bumper anyway, so you'll never see it. So, big job, but I think it should pay off. And once it's all cut out, it'll go in and it'll look like it's done in a hurry. So, I'll get back to cutting. All right, so made a lot of headway. I have to modify this floor pan a little bit. The way it was made was a little jank. So there's like an overlap there and on the other side. So I'm gonna zip it across and then go from there. I drilled some holes in it just to plug weld it, but honestly what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna seam weld the whole thing anyway. Now on the back side, we have our little holes there where the hardware is. This one's out to lunch, so I gotta oblong it a little bit. So it's China. But we have the pans out and basically ready to go in. I'm gonna grind across the top there so it's nice clean metal to weld to, and then I'm gonna get in here this little section. It's just all plasma torched out. It's all kind of ugly, but I'm gonna clean that up with the grinder, and then we should be able to clean the top of the pan. I'll drill a bunch of holes here, plug weld it. I may have to come from the bottom on the sides and plug weld it to the car. We'll plug weld across the front. We'll bolt it to the frame with some mounts, and that's it. We're not going to attach it to wheel tubs or nothing. We're just going to make sure it all kind of lines up. And if it does, just like the floor did, so we have that, then we can use the floor as a template to work out. So the front floor, the back floor, cut all the junk off the sides, take the wheel tubs out, and then we put the wheel tubs in. we can put them up to the new pans, because in theory, the front floor is right here, and you can see the floor pan and the tub was decent, so hopefully the back tub should go right in. And we should be pretty good. Again, as long as those 4 bolt holes line up, everything else should be pretty simple, kind of fingers crossed. All the batteries are dead, so we're gonna have to let those charge up a little bit, but shouldn't be too much more. We can at least slide this in and maybe give it a couple of self-tappers or a couple of plug welds, kind of hold it, but it is extremely hot out, and my sickness is not helping, but I do want to get this floor in, because I hate doing floors. I know I do a lot of them. They're not really my favorite, but if we can get that done, then we can start doing quarters and all that. I really enjoy doing that. That makes such a difference on the car. And then bolt some doors on it and everything. Like, this will really look like a car in a hurry. It's amazing if you throw $6,000 worth of sheet metal and a pile of hours at something, it turns out okay. But anyways, my voice needs a break, and we need to charge the batteries, throw some of this garbage in the back of the truck, get back after it. Okay, I think we've got enough to get this floor in, assuming it all fits nice. Everything's been cleaned up across the back, or the front, however you want to look at it. And then this section here, I got it all kind of cleaned up on the inside, underneath and all that. There's just a couple of, maybe I should run a grinder just on the bottom of that real quick, just to get the slag off that I drilled through. Where did I put my grinder? Just had it. Oh, here it is. Let's give it a quick once over.
Air tags on all the tools.
Yeah, or maybe just take a minute and clean up every now and again. Just so there's not caught on nothing. Okay, so in theory, we should be able to plug weld the front down and seam weld. This will go under the car and plug weld down to that.
And that's the trunk side.
This is the trunk, yep.
The trunk opening side, yes.
We're gonna have enough room here. Oh, I got something in my eyeball. Might have to.
What can I do?
I need you to grab the tripod there and
Okay.
get it started here.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Put you guys over on this side. Whoop. Momentary pause.
Pretty solid editing.
I'm not gonna edit one bit of that.
Okay, so you gotta kind of grab it. Yep. And just slide it in. Really, that's all I think.
You want me to?
There we go.
Once again, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Probably for the best. I never really know either. Just kind of winging it. Okay.
You did great.
Well, when you don't know what you're looking for, it's amazing how good it can look. So now, this kind of actually fell down.
You want me to pull it back a bit?
Yeah, it's jammed on something.
Okay, here.
Oh, I think we've really boned it here. I think it's caught at the front here. There we go. Okay. Is there a flathead screwdriver? Or?
that?
I had one on the ground there. Just anything I can jam in here. There was for sure a flathead on the back. I was using it as a hammer. On the ground.
Found it. Why were you using this as a hammer when there's a hammer right there?
Well, he's using whatever was closest. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay.
I mean, not bad.
Not bad. Let's see what happens when we take the weight off the car. Drop it down. Well, it looks like it should actually line up okay. You're not wearing the approved footwear.
I know.
How'd that work out?
How much of a gap should be here?
What's that?
How much of a gap should be here?
Well, I think that might have been because I was bending it.
Oh, okay. Like it lines up nicely.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Like it's flush right with the back there.
Everything kind of fits. I mean, the wheel tubs are not too bad. This one hangs over a little. That's because I probably bent it. Then this here, we can probably drop it all the way down.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So that'll all be sucked together with a few self-tappers. And same thing, the front we can
Yeah, that can be self-tapper for sure.
sucker down with some self-tappers. Okay.
Heckin', honey, that looks real good.
Well, I didn't design the floor pan, but
But you did a dang good job installing that, and you're sick as a dog right now.
yeah, sweat it out. So now I'm just gonna go under, and really if I just eyeball and make sure all the body mounts are in line, maybe put one in just to be safe, but honestly when it kind of fits that good and you're not fighting it, I think that's its home. So I'm just gonna sweep up underneath real quick. Then I think we might just send some self-tappers in it and call it a day. I'm ready for a bit of a break. I think I've deserved it. I've earned it.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so the pan's in. I self-tappered the front all the way across, but it fits nice and flat there. So I'm happy with that. And again, one extra layer of steel, I think that'd be good. The back. Oh yeah, we got body mounts in, so we got that. So this thing is bolted down where it wants to be. You can see the fitment around the wheel tubs is nice. Those are, factory-ish wheel tubs. It hangs out a little bit far in the back here, but I guess that's just kind of how it is. This hasn't moved. This isn't closed all the way because of that structure. That's still in line. Ooh. So that's good. Plug weld all that, then we can just trim some of that. I didn't get the corners. We gotta get in there, do a little screw around, self-tappers and stuff, but just as a kind of fitment. As I was looking at the rocker, I'm like, it's weird because everything is straight, and I know it is. But I think what it is, there's those brace pieces that go down and support it, and I bet what I'm gonna have to do is put like a pole or something and expand it out down low, because I think this has to be pushed out just a little bit. Watch yourself there. So we'll just have to push the post out, or whatever you want to call it. Being a hardtop, there's literally no support in this, right? So push it out, weld it, and that'll line up the door and the quarter and all that. So that'll be kind of upcoming. But yeah, the floor, everything is mounted. Everything looks good. I mean, the wheel tubs, everything still lines up. Everything is centered. Everything is good there. So yeah, pretty dang on decent, if I don't say so myself. So I think that's where we're gonna leave it for now. I have to clean up because it's been an absolute disaster, but really, well, I was gonna say the dirty part's done, but it's not. It's just today's dirty part is done. But with it all together, I'm thinking next video, we'll probably weld in the floor pans, maybe try and get these pushed out wherever we can, get those kind of like the doorpost tacked in where they want to be. Get that taken care of. Then I'd like to get into the quarters and the wheel tubs, get that done. That'll be a big job for sure, but you know, take it all apart, get everything where we want it welded while it's on the frame. Then we can peel it off the frame one more time and do finish welding, because then it can obviously support itself on the hoist, which would be nice. And then we could put the frame outside. I have to order stuff because I don't have any frame stuff, so I got to make a list. But basically, I'm sure I'm just going to put tubular control arms on it, disc brake kit, and then some sort of 4-link bars in the back. We'll probably buy some tubular ones and kind of go from there. Otherwise, I mean, that was a lot of work. A lot of work. My buddy Mike actually just stopped by. He dropped a car off for me. I was talking to him, and I forget what I said. I mean, it's $1,700 or $1,800 worth of floor pans here. But this car now, I think, has some value to it. Especially, I mean, once you do the rocker or the wheel tubs and the quarters, you really have a decent car, in my mind. I mean, a repop, you know, Dynacorn shell is 20 grand or something like that. So we're basically there. This one has a legitimate VIN number. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleaning up. We have to clean up the other garage, so probably next time you see it, there'll be some quarter panels and stuff like that stacked in here. And we'll be back to welding. Leave a comment, let us know how awesome we are, because we made it happen. See you in the next one.